Okay, I think the recording has been started, so we can start for today's session.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, guys, as you can see, this particular calendar table which Shivani created, she had, created a quarter column, right? How she created? So basically, over here in Power BI, right? If you want to concatenate two uh, values, you have to use the AND operator. Okay, so if you can see what she did from quarter function, she extracted the quarter information from the date column and then concatenated it with q, so that it will then it will become q1, q2, q3 and q4. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and if you can see, she has given the week name as, if you want to, so basically that is she formatted the date with the with DDDD, so what it will give you the week name basically, right? And rest is already over here. So first of all, there are few things which you need to create in your calendar table, like there are a few things you already create. There is a date column, that's fine. There's a month name column, right? Month number is there, year is there, week number is there, and the week, like w1 w2 whatever it is, right? That's fine. Week name, that is not week name, that is called day name first of all. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so you should give the correct naming convention over here. Yeah, over here day name. Okay, what you have is quarter information, right? You have the quarter, but for your
Yes.
reporting purpose, you have to show these, any of your charts. If you are showing it over a trend line or whatever, like if you are showing it on time series, then you have to create few of the columns. That is something like your month and year column, where your month name in short form, hyphen,
Okay.
then your year column, right? Something like that. You can add another column over here after day name, scroll down, or maybe after quarter. This is your last, right? Give a comma.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so write down month and year, month year, something like that, inverted comma, month year. Yeah, correct. So what you have to do now, you have to basically extract what is your month, right? So you can simply copy whatever you have written in the month name, the format, date, the complete thing, till bracket. You also need to include bracket. Okay, you can do it after there. Okay, and instead of 4m, you just want the short. Yeah, and then you can after bracket, inverted comma bracket, put and, because what you need to do now, put and sign. Yeah, uh, hyphen, inverted comma, hyphen, hyphen, this is oblique. uh, there is a key besides zero. Yeah, this one, this, correct, which you have, not this one which you have used earlier. Yeah, inverted comma again, and then again and percent sign, and and then you have to show the year information, right? So you need to extract, yeah, copy this from here. Okay, now commit this, right? This thing you generally need for your reporting purpose. Okay, and just like this, you have to create a quarter year column as well, right? These two
Okay.
things is, generally needed if you are doing any reporting for, your client. So these things, should be there in your calendar table,
Okay.
your month and year column, your quarter and year column. Okay, just create that.
Deepak, here I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
After MMM, we give directly underscore YYYY, right? We get the same output month year.
Yeah, you can get that, but in that case you will not get that hyphen or maybe space.
We'll get that underscore.
Try it. I think you don't get that hyphen or space, or you are getting it without any space. Like you will get Jan 2013, I believe.
Okay, okay, I have tried that.
Try it, please. Like I also want to see. Fine. You are going right. So now do one thing. Go to your visualization pane. Okay. Over here, select that month and year in a table. Open the drop down first. Drop down. Mm, Besides calendar table, there is a option to expand the calendar table, right? Yeah. Include your month and year. Month and year. That would be in the fifth column, I believe. Fifth. This is month number, month year. Okay. So you did it, right? You
Yes,
have
sir.
created a month and year column, but if you can see, that is not sorted correctly, right? What you are seeing is April 2013,
20.
April 2014, August, August, December, February, right? It is not
Yes.
sorted. Also do one thing, copy this table, copy the table which you have, Control plus C, did it? Then
Yes.
do Control plus V, paste. Drag this table to your right. Yeah, just move it to your right. Select that. Yeah, fine. So now include in this particular table, instead of month and year, include your month name. And remove month and year. Remove month and year. Month and year you need to remove. Include month name, not number. Okay. So if you can see, this is also not sorted, right? What you want is
Yes.
January, February, March, April, May, June, July, something like that, right? But how it is sorting basically, that is sorting your month name alphabetically, right? First you
Yes.
are seeing A, then D, then F, then J, M, right?
Yes.
It is sorting your month name
In alphabetic order.
in alphabetic order. So do you know how to sort it correctly? Any one of you knows it? No?
Sir, sir, I can give it in, this is in month sort it in month.
How you can do it? Show me. You are doing it right. Like you are thinking in the correct way, but how you can sort it?
Mhm.
Okay,
Sir,
fine. Do
uh,
one thing.
uh, sir,
Select that
can I
column
give
first.
it in data types in order to in
No,
month?
no. Data type should be text only, right? You cannot convert a string to a numeric, right? Do one thing. Select that month name column.
Here?
Yeah,
Yes.
select it from there. Just select it, like go to the calendar, not from here on your field section. Move to
Yes.
your right, move to your right, right. Yeah, just click here, click here, select. Uh, yes, now you selected it, right? Now go to the column tools. If you are seeing in the top ribbon, there is a sort by column, sort by column.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just click on the drop down there. You are getting, you can sort any column, right? Month name column on the basis of these columns which in the table which is available, right? So if you sorted with the month number, select the
Yes,
month
sir.
number. Now you can see, just click anywhere on the page. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, right? It got sorted,
Yes.
right? So basically in order to sort any text column, right? So if you can see for January month, right, we are having just one month number, right? We
Yes,
have
sir.
created a calendar table. Okay, for January, as this is the first month of the in numeric, this is the first month of the calendar.
Yes,
February
sir.
is second month. So you can sort your any text column on the basis of your any of the numeric column, right?
Okay.
So you can see now your calendar, your month name is sorted correctly. But how you sort your month and year, that would be a question. Okay, so let me show you how you will be able to sort your month and year. Just go to your data view from your left. Data view, this is the relationship view. Okay, you have to add another column over here, which is first of month.
New add column.
Yeah, you just need to add a column. You can add that over there also, there would be no issue by giving a comma after quarter and year information. Comma, next line. Fine, just write down first of month. So basically in order to sort your month and year, you can do it. If you have your first of month, include H, yeah, comma. Fine. So how you create your first of month? How, like, can any one of you guess it? If I want to create first of month.
So from month date,
Mm-hmm.
month number.
So how you create it? So basically for first of month, first of all you need a date, right?
Yes, sir.
So there's a function called date over here. Use date, write down date. Yeah, open the parenthesis. Fine. So over here, what you have to give your year information first. For year, you have the year, like year from date, right?
Yes. The
Just include
year.
year from that date. Yeah. Okay. Comma. Your second, thing you have to give over here is month. So for month, you can give month
Month.
number one, like month of date. Okay. So as you want first of your month, so you can simply hard code day as 1, comma 1.
So you right here.
Yeah. Just click on enter. Fine. So what you got is your first of month. First of all, in convert that first of month into date
Date.
date. only. This is the date and time format, right? Select first
Yes.
of month, convert into data type, because you don't need time information, right? Fine. So now that got converted into first of month. Perfect. So
Yes.
what you have to do now, you have to basically select your month and year information. Select your month and year column. Sort this. Select that first. Sort this by first of month. Now go over there in your visualization pane. Now what you are getting: January 2013, February 2013, March 2013, right?
Yeah.
This is the way how you sort your month and year information. Got my point, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a homework for you guys. First create a, so Shivani also already created a quarter year column, right? I want you guys to create another column in order to sort your quarter and year column. I'll ask you in tomorrow's session. Okay?
Okay.
How to sort your quarter and year column, which particular DAX function do I need to use to create another column to sort my quarter and year column. Because for your reporting purpose, if you are showing anything on a line chart, right? Because in line chart we should only be showing trend. If we are showing any trend, like how it gradually improves or maybe decline, how your performance is growing or maybe declining, so you need to show that particular information on a trend line chart, right? And you should like whatever in x-axis you have used, that should be sorted in correct manner, right? After January we should be seeing February, then March, then April, then May. And if we are considering quarter information, quarter 1 of 2013, then after that I should be seeing quarter 2nd of 2013, right? That shouldn't be like I am seeing April month first and then I'm seeing January, something like that. Okay,
Okay.
fine. So whatever we have done so far now, right, those are called table function, right? Those are, there are other table function as well, like you know all all function is also a table function. But that function is generally not used on as a table function. It is a table function, but that is basically used on you can say with measures. Over there, if you have to provide any table, you have to make use of that all function or all selected. There are several functions. I'll let you know about each and everything. So first of all, whatever we have done so far, we have created a calculated table, right? And there is an option to create a calculated column, just like Shivani made changes to the initial code itself, like in the table creation code. However, she has an option to create. So let's suppose she just created one columnar table for calendar with the date, right? With the date column only. So she has the capability to create a day name by adding another column there, calculated column, right? But she made changes to a single table, so that let's suppose if she had to make any changes or maybe copy the code of this particular calendar table, right, to some other file, she can do it, right, in one go. She need not have to copy the uh, calendar table code. So first she'll copy for the one column, then she copy for the other column, then she copy for the third column, right? And she had to copy the code again and again. But it's my advice for you guys. So in your initial phase, right, whatever report you are working on, create it, don't copy, create it at your end. After a period of time, when you know about each and every DAX function, then you can simply copy paste the calendar table. right? But in order to learn DAX, right, you should be creating it at your own, just like Shivani did, or just like you did yesterday. Fine. So in Power BI, right, we have a DAX. What is DAX basically? DAX is like your data analysis expression language. It's a language basically through which you can define your calculated measures, calculated columns, and your calculated tables, right? First of all, I would like to know from you guys, like, have you worked on DAX earlier as well? Do you guys have any
No,
background on Power Pivot or anything?
no, sir.
None of you?
No, Deepak.
Okay. So the thing is that there are two things: calculated column in DAX, right? With the help of DAX, you can create a calculated column as well, and you can also create a calculated measure. So what should you go, like, have you, while preparing for the interview as well, you must have read that what's the difference between a calculated column and a calculated measure, right?
Okay.
Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Measure we can calculate it in report, right?
Yeah,
Report
come
page.
again, what did you say?
Measure we can do in report page, right?
Yes, both
Uh,
like, the thing is that let me clear the difference between a calculated column and a calculated measure. Okay, calculated column, if you create a calculated column over there, right, that would be stored as a complete column, right? It will increase your memory, first of all, right? Because let's suppose there is a table of 1 million rows, right? If you create a calculated column over there, right, it will have 1 million rows, right?
Yes, sir.
Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So if you create a calculated column, that would be stored in the memory of your Power BI, you know as a data set. However, a measure, that would be, if you created a measure, right, that measure will not be stored in your memory, right? Whenever you drag that measure into the visualization, it will calculate on the runtime. However, if you create a calculated column, that's already being calculated when you created that, and that will be stored as a column in your data set. Getting my point? However, your calculated measures are calculated on the fly. Whenever you drag that measure into a visualization, into any filter context, then it will be calculated, else not. Okay. However,
Sir,
your,
not understood.
what did you say?
Not understood.
Okay,
Calculated measure.
the thing is that for calculated measure and calculated column, right, both will give you the same result.
Okay.
Okay, both will give you the same result until and unless you have the requirement to create a calculated column. You should not be creating it, because it store memory in your Power BI report. It will be stored as a column in the data set. Like, if you open the data view, first of all, you are not creating any column in the source. Okay, in the data source, you are not creating any column. You are creating a calculated column in the data set which you imported from the source, right? That is one thing. So let's suppose, consider this date table as a date table with 1 million records, 1 million rows. Currently you are seeing 730 rows only, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
If I create a calculated column over here, let's suppose first of month, so for each row it will be calculated, right? It will
Yes, sir.
store 730 rows for the column, right?
Yes.
Let's suppose consider this situation that we have 1 million record of data, and if I am doing a calculated column over there, creating a calculated column, it will be stored in my file, right?
Yes.
It will increase the PBX file size as well,
Yes.
right? Until and unless there is a need to create a calculated column, we should not be creating it. We should make use of calculated measure, because most of the times, or you can say every time, right, 98% or 95% of the time, you will get the same result whatever you are getting in calculated column with calculated measure. So why there is a need to have a calculated column? Why should we create it? Like we are creating month and year, quarter and year, first of month, right? Why we are creating it? Because we need it. Why so? Because if we need to filter our data, right, I need to filter, I need to filter my sales data, which is my KPI, right? Sales is the factual number. I want to filter my sales on the basis of January 2013. I want to see what's my sales for January 2013. So for that I need to filter my data in other table, right? So for that purpose, we need to create a calculated column, because we cannot pull our slicer, we cannot pull our measures in slicers. You can try, you cannot do it. Just go to the visualization pane. Create one thing, expand the financial table. Create a measure over here. Select new measure from the table tools.
So where?
In your top ribbon, table tool, new measure. Write down sales, total sales. Write down total sales. The name, I'm telling the name of the measure, total sales, then equal to. Right. Do sum of sum. Write down sum. Open the parenthesis. Sum of your sales. Write down sales. Let's see if we have any column with the name sales. Sales. Yeah, financial sales. Right. This is a measure which we created. Right. Close it out. Okay.
Okay.
Include that. Put a slicer on the page.
So where?
Select the slicer from that would be in your third last row, third one. In the visualization pane, third row, third one. From third last row, from the last third row, below. Third last row, yeah. Besides that, on your right, yeah, this one is a slicer. Try to include total sales over there. See if you are able to select total sales. You cannot, basically. That is the reason you will not be able to. If you try to put product over here, you will be able to select product. See,
Yes, sir.
right? Why is this? Because this is a column, right? In order to filter your data, right, you must be having a column. So if you don't have it, you can calculate it, right? You can create it. So why do we generally create a calculated column? Is like, uh, in order to filter our data. That is first use case when you should create. And for your date table, generally if someone will ask you, give me a scenario where you have to create a calculated column. If there was any scenario, you can simply say that I had to create a calculated column in my calendar table because I want to filter my data on the basis of month and year, quarter, year, or maybe month, right? So that is, or you know, and there are other things like it consumes CPU, measures only consumes CPU. However, your calculated column consumes memory, right? And your calculated measure, it's usually a result of an aggregation. However, your calculated column is row by row calculation, right? If you go to the data view again, right, if you, okay, if you select any particular column, let's suppose the in the calendar one, select the calendar table first, because other table is selected over here right now. Go to your right field, yeah. So if you can see, your first of month is calculated row by row, right? For first row it's calculated, on the basis of first row. For second row it's calculated on the basis of second row, right? So calculated column is a row by row calculation. However, your measure is a result of an aggregation. We did aggregation, right? We sum of our total sales over there, right? So what I would say, DAX, you know, uh, that's like, these are the only, you know, difference, like where you should create a calculated column. Basically the difference, one is like, it is measure is not stored anywhere, it is calculated on the fly once you drag it into the filter context of any visual. However, calculated column is stored in memory, right? It will increase your PBX file size. It is calculated at the time of refresh of your report, because when you refresh the data of your report, let's suppose there are newly rows added, then your calculated column will also add new rows, right? Because this is the calculated column in your table, right? And these are some of the things, the difference between a calculated column and a calculated measure. Most of the time you should create a calculated measure only, right? Until and unless there is a requirement to create a calculated column. And calculated table is nothing like when we use a DAX expression to create a complete table instead of, creating calculated columns or measures only, right? That is basically why we use a calculated column, just to summarize our data, right? Whatever data we have, that would be in very lower granularity, and if we want to, convert that into higher granularity, then we can basically use our uh, table function to create calculated table, right?
Okay.
Anyone is having any doubt over here?
No.
By using measure, we can't create column, right? We can create column, right?
You cannot create column by using measure. By using calculated columns only, you are creating column. However, you will get the same result. Okay, do one thing. Go to your financial table. Let me show you how. We are having just very low time. Okay, select the financial table. See what all things you have over here. You have sale price, you have gross sales, right? You have discount,
Yes.
you have sales, you have COGS, you have profit, units sold, and okay, if you can see over here, you have units sold and you have the sale price, right? So how
Yes.
basically, what is your sales? By the way, sales is nothing, that is your units sold. If you multiply your units sold with your sales price, so that would be your sales, right? Or maybe that would be your gross sales, because sales is after you subtract your discounts from your gross sales, then it would be sales. So these are the calculated columns there, right? I'll help you guys to achieve the same with the measure only. You'll not have to create a complete, because I don't want to filter my my data on the basis of gross sales, right? Why would I? But there are scenarios, if there is any requirement, if you have to create, you have to group a certain, let's suppose I want to group my gross sales. If my gross sales is between 1 lakh to 2 lakh, I want to consider that as low gross sales. And then if it is 2 lakh 1 to 4 lakh, then it would be in medium group, right? Then in that case I would need a gross sales column, right, to create another column where I'll define what is the level of my gross sale, right? But there, let's suppose there is nothing requirement like that. I just want to show the sales information, gross sales information in my report. So let me show you how you can do it, how you can achieve it with a calculated measure. Go to your visualization pane. Select your financial table.
Selected only that.
Okay. Now create a calculated measure over here.
Yes.
Fine. Write down gross sales new. Gross sales new. Okay. Now we are. Now I am introducing you with the, iterator function. Those are iterator function. So basically that would allow you to go with the row context. Basically make use of sum x. Use sum x. Yeah. Why we have not used sum? Because I have to derive my gross sales, right, on the basis of two columns, right? So for that I need to iterate through each row of the table one by one, right? So which is the table on which we have to iterate? That is the financial table, right? Give financials over here, write down financials. Yeah, select the table, it's the second last, yeah, comma. So now what I have to do, I have to give the expression on the basis of which I need to calculate my gross sales. How you can do it? So there's one column called unit sold, right? Try to call that, try unit sold, write down unit sold. That would be in the last, you can see, yeah. Okay, so how you calculate, basically this is a business logic, how to calculate gross sales. Whatever product you have sold, right, you have to multiply it with the sale price, right? And then you need to give sign of asterisk sign, like multiply sign.
Okay.
Yeah, single, yeah. Now you have to multiply, let's suppose you bought something, right? Sorry, you sold something. If you want to have your gross sales, how you calculate your gross sales? The unit you sold and the price on which you sold. Now you have to search for sale price.
Yes.
I think that was the column name, sale price. Write down the sale price. Scroll down. Sale price. Yeah. You got that on your fourth. Yeah. Just close the bracket. So what SumX is doing over here? It is going on the first row, right? How SumX work? You give the table name, you ask SumX to iterate to each row, right? So how it is going? It go to the financial table. It will iterate over the first row. It will search what is the value in the first row for units sold, right? It will search for the sale price value for the first row. It will multiply that, right? It will store it in the memory. Then it will go to the next row, right? Search for the unit sold column. See, grab the value for sale price for the second row, multiply those, store it somewhere. And then once it will, iterate over the complete table across each row, right? Then it will sum up whatever details it captures in the memory. Click enter. Okay, now do one thing. In the month, in any of your table, like the month and year table, you have on your left, scroll down, yeah, select that table. Okay, now include gross sales column, which is there already in the data set. Select the gross sales which is there already, yeah, this one, select it. Not, you put it in the drill through filter, click on cross, normally select the gross sales, check that box, it will automatically be included there. Fine. Okay,
Yes.
now what the measure which you just created, scroll down, the gross sales one, where you created that measure, or maybe you can type it over the yeah, you created in the calendar table. Just scroll up. So let me tell you this thing, guys. First of all, when you creating any measure, right, make sure to create it in the correct folder, right? You're creating it for the financials, just select it. How you can move this from calendar table to a financial table, just select the measure first. Now go to the format, or maybe that would be in data drill. Just select the measure first. On your top, select the measure, selected. I asked you, yeah. Now you can see the home table, go to the upside. The home table is calendar,
Yes.
you have to change it to the financial. Now that would appear in the financial now, which is the exact place for this measure to be stored, right? That shouldn't be in the, yeah. Now you select it from there in the table, check the box, scroll to your right, see, you are getting the same result.
Yes, sir.
There is no difference, right? And
Yes.
right, consider this, you have very huge table, right? Very long table, 1 million or 2 million of record in that table, right? If you create, so this is the column already there in the data set, so it's on you whether to delete that in Power Query Editor and calculate it via DAX. So I would not advise that, but yes, if let's suppose there is no column like gross sales or maybe net sales, right? You have to calculate it. Don't create a calculated column until and unless you will link it. The scenario I already told you, where you have to create a calculated column. Make use of the iterator function over here and create a calculated measure, because that would be, that would not be stored in your Power BI report. It will not increase your Power BI file size, right? And it is much faster, and it is not faster, I would say, but not slower also, like, okay. But the thing is that it is quite flexible. If you create a calculated column over there, right, you'll lose the flexibility. Over here you can see, you know uh, there are several things, like it is more flexible, like over here that is already stored as a static, values over there. But if you do it in this way, you create a calculated measure that is dynamic. It can be filtered based upon the filter that is coming from the visual in the filter context. If I drag, instead of month and year, I drag anything else, that would be filtered. Though the gross sales is also filtered, because that's connected with the filter condition. But it is advised you should be creating a calculated measure until and unless there is a urgent need to create a calculated column. Do
Okay.
anyone have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so I think that we should instead of going, working, teaching you DAX in our tomorrow's session, I think I should first train you on the visualization which we have over here, right?
Yes.
So in tomorrow's session, right, there's one homework for you guys. Like you can, the one like how to sort the quarter and year information, I'll ask you in tomorrow's session. And you can simply, try to learn about, try to see what all things, what this visualization mean, the stack bar chart, the donut chart, what's the use of it. And we'll discuss the same in tomorrow's session, right, rather than DAX. And then we'll move on to DAX, another thing.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Let's meet you tomorrow then. Bye bye. Bye everyone.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Bye bye.
Thank you.